That brings us to Wednesday, the 24th of February. Imagine that, we're nearly at the end of February already. Anything goes with Peter Terry, DJ Countryman, Shoe Doctor himself. Our guests are going to be Natasha Virgil from Black Wall Street of London, and also James Capone himself, right, from Zoom Banqueting Suite.
God, mate. You know what I mean?
I'm surprised you don't choke, blood.
I nearly choked this now. Peter made me laugh and the lemon nearly come out my nose.
It's time to spice up your food with One Shot Marinade, the authentic Caribbean seasoning.
Yeah, about keep fit. So don't forget, you said you didn't want an ugly person on it. So just out him, say no, yeah? And that's what he's going to say to you.
With a lyric.
Well,
that's not a food.
I would say
it was essentially the male equivalent of a female beauty competition. And so the men would parade in evening wear, swimwear, casual. Really exciting evening, and it was just packed solid. Thousands came, for the final. It was just a really, really uplifting event. And it was. We did it in London.
By Thursday, and you can come live. Mind you though, it is 8:15 till 9:15 in the morning.
What you put me on this time of morning, you're going to scare us.
it was a cassette. You know when you had to push the pencil in between into the hole? Yes, man. And spin it.
Well, straight away, that, red flag, phone community, why are we the guinea pigs now?
I feel like when you are speaking up for yourself, it should be unapologetic and it should be honest. I think that we all...
So, for example, the West Indian community, there are many reasons why they may not, and you can probably tell me more than I know, but I think part of it is that they're being asked to trust the same structures that have also contributed to their discrimination, their abuse, their trauma.
But in Ubuntu, we have programs that kind of look at identity, raising self-esteem, looking at our history, looking at.
Often when you watch the news and stuff, everyone's talking about race. And I'm just thinking, well, there's more than that. I know, just having no dad and having to work out what it means to be a black man in the UK was a very, very difficult job.
So when we boycott these places, where are we going to go? What are we going to do? We're starting to put things in place now. Are we not falling into their trap? Or is this just the universe pushing us to shop with our own and make the money stay within our community?
You know, and if you ain't got enough to do it in your family, get 2 or 3 families together and start a business. You know, we've got to be thinking like that now, because unemployment is going to be rife.
Saturday sees DJ Countryman and myself with 15 minutes with DJ Countryman and myself. This is where we interview somebody for 15 minutes. We will be interviewing Lady Lloyd. She's come out with a book called Lovers Rock after that mess up that Steve McQueen made.
It's silly games. I've been watching you for such a long time now. It's a shame. Financially, I'm a part.
That's what you call a royal mess up.
"15 Minutes with DJ Countryman and Rudi Lickwood, Saturday morning mayhem with 2 entertainment heavyweights."
Morning, darling.
Hey, everyone. Hey, Push.
So, I can start.
My internet's awful.
Join them with interviews.
What about them telephone? Come on, put up the telephone.
Comedy and quizzes.
All them.
Okay.
Somebody was born in Harlem.
This was born in Harlem.
There's no problem there. That's what I'm saying.
Peter, hear me out, Peter. It said, can you write down the number 8 times? That means, no, it's not times, that multiplication. It said, write it down 8 times, Peter.
We're not here, but we're not
You didn't know the answer, if you didn't have the answer, would you get it?
You're the one who's here. You're the. Oh God, we got another one. We're so bitter this morning. Now, so
no, can I ask you? Who actually wrote that question?
They are like, oh my God, again. What is wrong with these people,
Hello. Hi. Hello. You said hi twice. Goodbye. You said hi 3 times.
You're gone.
Sound the
He's gone, man.
15 minutes with Rudi Lickwood and DJ Countryman. Saturday mornings, gonna be the same again.
Incredible.
We will be joined by comedian Desmond Feely, Effie from the Rants and Bants crew, and also Trevor White and Shug Speed. Monday, I've got a really good treat for you guys. That's 1st of March. I've got Charles Tomlin, actor, comedian, coming in for a chat.
Deliver. Yeah. You know those places? Yes. Can you...
Where some of you guys could be, where some of you guys could be, but you know, easy. I might have that girl when you pension, she has to guy COVID, that means that she got corona. So you know we can link up corona and COVID.
At least I forget to tell you about the 24-hour live event that's going to be taking place on the 6th of March, which is the second Saturday of the month. And I will be doing a collaboration alongside Natasha Vigil and Lorraine and Hugh Benler. They are the owners of the Black Business Recommendation. It's a fantastic organization that gets black businesses working and collaborating with one another. Natasha, she runs the Black Wall Street of London. It's a virtual marketplace, and we've decided to basically come together, and it's all going to happen within 24 hours, right? So that's like from 12 a.m. till 12 a.m. And just working together. That's the end of your weekly roundup. Now, please do not forget to subscribe, especially if you're on YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe. Subscribe, hit the button, subscribe, hit the button. If you're on Facebook, make sure that you like the page. By you liking the page, you will receive your notifications, whether you're in YouTube or whether you are, of course, in Facebook. So that's the weekly roundup.
Good morning. I've been leaving these video clips at the end of my day, but this morning I thought I would share this little bit with you, which was inspired because of something a friend of mine said to me this morning. And that is, you are the creator of your life. So begin by intentionally creating your day. You're responsible for the results you intend. No excuses. Have an amazing day. I'll talk to you later.
Woo! Good evening, people. How you doing? I know that was a long intro, wasn't it? It was a long intro, but it's an intro that I thought I needed to start doing. Right? It was gonna enable me to be focused about what I was doing, and two, it's gonna make me start on time. Do you know what I mean? Because that is something. It's something that I used to do all the time. At one point, I was always a man who was on time. Do you know what I mean? And people used to wonder why it is I used to cuss, because I used to think time, that's the only, it's the one jewel that I've got. Do you know what I mean? Take my money, take my clothing, take my car, but do not take my time, because that's the one thing I cannot get back. So I'm trying to get back to that. And I think if I get back to that, I'll get back to the Rudi that I knew before lockdown. Basically, because the Rudi that I now know is a totally different cat. You know what I mean? Might as well keep it real, so to speak. He's a totally different cat. It's like I've spun and I've turned into a different type of person, meeting loads of different new people now, losing a lot of people very, 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 very close to me, extremely close to me, people who have been encouraging me, people who have been pushing me, because they say that when you start to elevate, you start to lose people. Yeah, and sometimes you want to hold on to people because you're holding on to the past, yeah, and you're not moving forward. And sometimes they want to hold on to you. Do you know what I mean? And that even in itself becomes a little bit stifling. So it was important for me anyway that I started to show you or invite you to meet people who have had an influence on me, even though it was for a very, 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 very minute space of time. Because what they were bringing to me was nothing superficial, but years of living, years of life. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes it doesn't take much for a person to say something for you to understand that there's gravitas behind what they are saying. There's weight behind what they were saying. Because you hear people who talk sometimes and you think to yourself, you know what? You sound incredibly intelligent, but yet they're an arsehole. Yeah. You know, there's very little to them. You know, the words are coming out, but the way that they behave is a totally different way. So I want to introduce you to someone who did something that was key to me kind of stopping and going, raw. That was quite interesting to see. I thought I was the only kind of guy who would do that kind of like thing, you know, because you know me, I like breaking rules. I've always been a rule breaker. I guess that's why I'm Brock, you know what I mean? But never mind that. Never mind that. So let's see now. Let's give me a chance to introduce you to my guest tonight. And if you've been on my platform before, you know that it's not just a straightforward thing where I just go, yeah, let me just bring him on. You know what I mean? I always like to give you an idea of who he is. Hold on. Before you even get to see him. Wait, hold on. What's going on here? Guess what? You know when I'm no female. That's one thing I struggle with is the multitasking thing. Because ladies, you know how to multitask, didn't ya? The only time a man knows how to multitask, yeah, is when he's watching a videotape, yeah? He's got a box of tissues, yeah? And that's it. And he's listening out for the door in case his missus is coming in, right? That's the only time that man really and truly know how to multitask, so to speak. But I should say, before I even get going, I should say hello to everybody in the room. I do apologize. Pardon my my manners, yeah? So a big shout out goes to the Rants and the Bants crew, right? That covers all of you, right? That covers all of you when I say that. All of you it covers. When I say Rants and Bants, you know exactly who I'm talking about. We're going through a grieving process at the moment. And hopefully we will all link up tomorrow at approximately 10. It's going to be around 10 o'clock. I'm still waiting to hear from Donna Murray Turner, right? And Bella Blake. All right. They're organizing the platform for us to meet up on Zoom. All right. For 10 o'clock. Yeah. So those details will be coming out to you. Right. And you will know who to give those Zoom details to. Yeah. Because Denise Francis was part of the Rants and Bants. But anyway, I digress. Let me get back to where I needed to get to by introducing on my guest. Ooh, there he is. There he is. How you doing, Paul?
Hey, man, I'm doing great, Rudy. Great to see you. Thanks for having me here.
Nah, man, it's a pleasure having you here. I ain't gonna lie. Because you're all the way in Canada right about now, aren't you?
I'm all the way in Canada right now, yeah.
Whoa, what's the time difference out there, bruv?
5 hours. So we're just the afternoon here. 3:30.
Oh, so that means that so you're chilling basically.
I'm chilling.
Yeah, so when I'm ready to fall asleep, you're actually just about getting up and getting going.
Just getting cranked up, yeah, when you're sleeping, yeah.
Oh my God. But the thing is that you cranking up and getting going is totally different. Because I don't know many horticulturalists, is that what they would call them?
Horticulturist?
Yeah. Is that your thing?
That's one of my things, yeah.
It's one of your things. Well, tell us about it. Tell us about it, and tell us how you got there. And
as a horticulturist, well, as a horticulturist and landscape designer, it was my father had a small landscape maintenance business for years and years, and I didn't think it was going to be my path. It was always my after-school job and weekend job and summer job and all that sort of thing. I did take a detour from school and after school, and it was an opportunity. I saw it as an opportunity to have my own business, and it was a business that I was familiar with, and I could return to school and become a landscape designer and take the business that was my father's and grow that business and create it and make it the way I wanted to have it. But it was a great opportunity for me, and it was a nice bit of legacy for my dad.
Okay.
But to take
Because
that
a
on.
lot of people don't understand just how important it is to actually connect with the earth and to connect with the planet. I mean, I know one guy who loved grass, and people just couldn't understand why is it that he loved grass. But what they didn't understand was he ended up building an empire just from cutting bloody grass. Just from cutting grass, this guy built a bloody empire. I couldn't believe it, right? But it's very, very true. Now, you don't originate from Canada, do you?
No, I do. My parents don't. My parents came from the Netherlands or Holland, but I was born here. But they came here in the early 50s. So they had lived through the war, World War II. So they were an occupied country. And, so my mom was a teenager during that time. My dad was just a young man. So they went through that. The difficulties and challenges of growing up in a occupied country during the World War.
Because who was Holland occupied by? Well, they called it the Netherlands. They were occupied by who at the time?
The Nazis. The Nazis came in, and it was a Nazi-occupied country, or German-occupied country, but the Nazis came in initially.
It's kind of weird when you think that the Americans were actually the finance behind the Nazis going in there in the first place. Isn't that weird?
It's so weird, yeah.
That's why I don't like politics, bruv.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like politics, because the world gets played against one another. Do you know what I mean? But then you said your dad had an experience with it was the Canadians who came in, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was them that were they were deployed, and the Canadians liberated.
That's right. That's the word I was looking for.
Right. Yeah. So the Dutch people in general love Canada. They love Canadians. They honor them regularly, like annually, at certain times of the year. It was. So my dad's home got taken over by a Canadian general, actually, and used it as a sort of headquarters for a bit during the liberation of the country. And my dad just loved the idea of coming to Canada, coming to this country. He had these visions where Canada must be a country that is where the roads must be paved with gold and things like that, and so he just fell in love with the idea of that's where he could start a new life. He could get married and start a new life, and he just loved the idea of coming to Canada.
It's such a twin story, because you use the word that Canada was paved with gold. Do you know what I mean? It's the same sort of wording that you'd find that would come out of a West Indian when they came over to England. We expected the actual pavements to be literally paved with gold. We didn't expect to find racism and snow. That was the one thing they never expected. I mean, they came over like dressed up in clothing that was suited to a much warmer climate, and then all of a sudden they found themselves, whoa, it's cold, it's smog. And because when I think about Canada, that's the first thing I think of. I think of snow. I mean, I'm sure. Do you have chains on your tires at any point?
No. You know what? Growing up, there was a time when they put chains on tires and they had steel studs in their tires. They don't do that anymore. They have to swap out tires, seasonal tires. You have winter tires on your car and summer tires. But we got a fair bit of snow, and yeah, I know that to people outside Canada, they imagine that we're full of snow. So there's certain areas where we get tons of snow, and some areas get a bit less. But yeah, and it's true. You said, my dad, I think he thought that literally the roads were paved with gold. He just had this vision of a great life. Didn't know what he was really in for coming into. There was nothing to research. You couldn't look it up on the internet. There weren't any fancy brochures. He wasn't coming to wasn't like, certain of job security, didn't know where they were going to live or that type of thing. So it was a real leap of faith, a real leap of faith on him.
It sounds like an adventurous man, to be honest with you, because I mean, he brought your wife over to Canada, or did they meet? How did they meet?
No, they met there. They met in the Netherlands. I believe my mom was working in a cafe or something, and I think that's how they met. I'm not really sure on the details, but they met and got married in Holland, and then moved directly to Canada afterwards. Yeah.
Okay. Because the thing is that what people don't know is that we actually met up in Cancun, didn't we?
We met in Cancun, yeah, Mexico.
I think that's most probably when was that a phase for you? Because I mean, we were both there with the intentions of writing a book, yeah. You've completed your book, which we will talk about in a minute. But was that a phase for you, like a period of time? Because like I showed a clip where you spoke about taking responsibility for your own life, yeah. And that's all of that kind of philosophy comes from personal development, yeah.
Yes. Right.
So how long were you going through that phase? Well, it's not. I don't know how to put the question to you, but do you understand what I mean?
I think I found that phase or that stage or something like that. So I think I'm still going through it because
that's why I didn't. Yeah, that's why I know I worded it.
I still want to evolve and develop and grow myself. I think when my daughter was born, I think I'm going to attribute a lot of this to my daughter. Like, just I want to become a better person when my daughter was born, because you want to instill in your kids that they can be anything, do anything, have anything, and be anything they want in their life. And and I always thought, okay, here's this person with tremendous potential to be and do anything. And I thought, well, what potential did I have? Well, I still have potential. I still have gifts. And I know that I can be more as well. And I wanted to, be the best dad that I could be. I don't know how successful I've been at that, but
you've been successful at it. Well, I would tell you, you've been successful at it.
Yeah,
you've been successful at it, bro.
But you want your children not only to love you, but you want them to respect you and to look up to you. So she was always a high achiever, which was great, and I could instill that in her. But I thought, I have to live. I have to be a product of the product. I have to live it myself, and I still have a chance. And I just wanted to be a better person. And so I really became interested in personal development and growth for a long time, and I didn't find exactly the path that I'm on now. It took me a while.
So who was your first guru, so to speak, that you came across? Because I've got an image of you here with Bob Proctor, yeah?
Yeah, that's Bob Proctor. Yeah, exactly. So I had, before I had ever met Bob or knew who Bob was, and I think he's the world's leading authority on human mind potential and development. He's been studying this for 60 years, which is longer than anyone else on the planet.
That's because Nightingale is dead. That's because Nightingale is dead, because Nightingale was the brother who they're really standing on the shoulders of.
That's right. And so Nightingale was actually one of Bob's first mentors, or he went and worked for Nightingale for a number of years. Yeah. But I heard some of the other big names, Tony Robbins and Jack Canfield and people like that. And I started to follow them and pick up material and books and stuff like that. But I never really grabbed onto anything or something never really grabbed me. But about...
is it because of the different types of styles? The styles of delivery?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, parts of it resonates with you and parts of it doesn't. But
because I'm sure that people in the group must be aware of Tony Robbins and his delivery and his style of presentation, which is very theatrical. It's that American, yeah, we can, motherfuckers, come on, let's go. It's very much that kind of thing. And Canada's quite reserved, isn't it? It's quite a reserved.
Yeah, it's known to be more reserved than that.
Yeah, and the British are even more so. So you can imagine me growing up here, as black as I am, that I've still got this conservative, reserved kind of like mentality when it comes to motivation and when it comes to personal development kind of like thing. I mean, what's interesting, we didn't even talk about this yesterday, but what you've got behind you there up on the board, right?
Yeah.
Right. Could you give us just a brief idea of what that actually is? Brief.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's actually an entire lesson, but so it's really like the thing with Bob Proctor and his programs is it's not just about getting out, rah like you mentioned Tony Robbins and all this, get out there and do it, Rudy, and all that kind of thing. But Bob really describes how the mind works. And of course, no one's ever seen the mind. People don't know what the mind looks like. If I said, what does the mind look like? Well, you don't know what the mind looks like, right? It's not the brain.
Right.
But it's, so we don't know what the mind looks like. So Bob had this teacher, Thurman Fleet, who in the 30s, he drew a diagram where it was a big circle, which represents the mind.
Right.
And then the body is the smaller circle, because the body is an instrument of the mind.
Okay.
And so you have to determine or figure out how the mind works, because the mind controls your brain.
Right.
Your brain is an instrument of the mind. And so the mind, if you divide it, like in that diagram behind me, into two parts, the conscious thinking mind, which is where all your knowledge accumulates, and then there's the subconscious mind, which is your emotional mind. So whatever you impress upon your subconscious, then
it manifests.
Will determine how you act. Your behavior will determine how you feel, and that will determine what your behavior is and how you act. And so your action produces a reaction. So that action reaction is your result. So if you want different results, you can't just trying to change your behavior, just trying to, change your diet or, give up smoking or whatever it is.
I ain't giving it up, man. I ain't giving it up.
It doesn't always work, right? Until you, figure out or learn how your mind is working, and so that you can change your thinking.
Because they say it takes approximately 30 days to break a habit.
To start a new habit or something like that, 30 days or 6 weeks or something like that. You have to, but it falls off if you don't really understand how the mind works. But if you understand how the mind works, it becomes an easier thing to do, because you're programmed. So what you're trying to do is trying to reprogram your mind. Is what you're trying to do.
Because human beings are programs, aren't we? We're programmed to behave and think the way that we do, based on government and business decisions, which is way above us.
Yeah, well, right from the time you're born, right? Wherever you're, you have all this information coming in. When you're a child, your mind is wide open. So whatever your parents are telling you, whatever the news is telling you, whatever everything that's happening in the outside world is telling you, and then you develop, a certain way of thinking.
Okay. So then, what was your mind telling you when you were way back then?
Way back then, like in this picture, you mean?
Yeah.
This time, what was my mind telling me? My mind was telling me, well, this is a photograph of a good friend of mine who actually passed away last year. But this is a picture. We were playing football, so after a football championship year. But what my mind was telling me was that I could. I was free to do what I wanted to do. I had a choice. I had choices, and I could pursue anything I wanted to pursue.
Mm-hmm. Because sport became it had big influence on you, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it did. I mean, because I always felt that sport. I mean, it's the friendships and the camaraderie and everything that I developed and that I still have today. But I've always felt that sport was a good vehicle for people to learn and to grow it and to learn about themselves and to push their own limits and to develop goal setting and it's good for your own personal image and just for your because a lot of the things that you learn in sport you can apply to other facets of your life. That's what I liked about it.
Okay. Because what were your sports? Because you took them to a very good level, if I'm correct.
Yeah. So I played a number of sports in school, and then I just fell naturally into track and field. So I was like a national caliber athlete in track and field. It wasn't necessarily my favorite sport, but it was probably the one I was best at. And I played a lot of football, like American football. I'm not talking about football as you know it in the UK, which is like soccer.
Soccer. You call it soccer.
And I played some ice hockey, but this is a picture of football. So I played that for I think over 30 years.
30 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's well into my late adulthood before I retired.
Okay. So, would you say that you were an academic when you were at school? Would you say that was you?
I did well, Rudy, but I didn't work at it. I didn't work at it like I should have, right? And because I could get by without working at it too hard.
Okay.
I didn't put everything into it that I could have put into it, or that I might have put into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was a bit of luck then, isn't it?
Yeah. It was my good fortune, I guess, or whatever. But yeah, I was able to do reasonably well without putting a lot of effort into it.
Yeah, it's a shame that we can't say the same, innit, Paul? Because I know I've got my mate in here, Paul Walsh, and we actually went to school together. I spent most of the time outside the classroom. He spent quite a lot of time inside the classroom. I found more joy in the passage than I actually did in school. It was one of the reasons was it was difficult for me to relate to a lot of the subjects that was going on. Because at the time we weren't really credited with a sense of achievement. We weren't really credited with a sense of achievement, which just caused us to, I guess, lose interest in a way. And it's just the way that my school system was. It didn't really pay a lot of interest in me as such, But I know I can see from the image that I've got here is that you then got hit with the travel bug.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I did. I was always sort of adventurous. I have an adventurous spirit, I guess. But yeah, so I was going to school, and I had after high school, then I had some letters from universities asking if I wanted to come and play football for their school. And so, but I was just sort of restless, and I don't know, restless, feeling a bit adventurous, being a little bit of, trying to spread my wings a bit.
Yeah, but you did spread your wings. I mean, you jumped on a cruise ship, mate.
Yeah, that's right.
You freaked off, innit?
Well, my idea, my plan initially was to travel for a year, take a year off school and travel. And then I got this idea in my head that, because I thought, I'd work for a bit and then have this money and that, but, I moved out of the house. I was living with a couple of buddies and stuff. And so I didn't save a lot of money. We were, partying and having a good time, and I didn't save a lot of money. So I thought, what if I still wanted to go away? So I thought, I could work and travel at the same time. And somehow I got this idea. I came across the idea of working on a cruise ship. And of course, there's no internet. So you're not emailing people. You have to actually, write out letters and stuff like that. So, but I did. I pursued that over a few months. and all but forgotten about it. And then, you know, I got a letter one day that gave me this position on a cruise ship as an aerobics instructor. So I thought that's right down my alley. It was work that I loved. I was going to travel. I was getting money, and I just thought, perfect. So I did. And so I took a chance. I remember having to come to the UK for my final interview, and it wasn't guaranteed the job, but I came on this budget flight from New York City to London, no return air ticket. I didn't really have any money in my pocket. I didn't have a backup plan as to what I was going to do if I didn't get the job. I just saw myself as having this job. I had never been to the UK. I didn't know what was going to happen if I
Mostly
didn't.
came on a Freddie Laker flight.
That's
Freddie
right.
Laker was the guy who was putting out the cheap flights at the time.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Freddie Laker was like $103 and no frills. And I, you know, flew into Gatquatic and I put all my bags in a locker there and then went down for my interview. And but I had no backup plan. So I mean, you can call that, you know, being a little bit stupid or naive, but I just saw for myself that I was going to have this job. I didn't think anything different. I was going to have this job, and I just saw myself.
What cruise line was you on? Who were you with?
So the line was a Greek line, Chandris Lines, Chandris, which still exists, but has been taken over by a cruise line. You would recognize them as Celebrity Cruises now.
Yeah, I know. I've been on Celebrity Cruises. I've done them. I think I was out in St. Thomas when I met up with Stadios, who owned EasyJet. No, was it? I know it was one of the Caribbean islands anyway. And I was like at the bar with him, thinking, "Yeah, man, look at me. I'm with Stadios. You know what I mean? I'm with Stadios. Yeah, this is all right." I was like, "Stadios, man, do you want a drink? Do you want a drink?" He goes, "Yeah, I'll have a drink." And I asked for a Coke, and they said to me that it was for like $5. And I went like, "Stadios, I think you got this one, you know, because." I was in a millionaire's playground at the time, right? And but the cruising, man, that must have opened up a world of information to you at that time. You know, I mean, you're coming from the land of clogs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It was it was a game changer for me for sure. I mean, it gave me so much things that I had dreamed of and things I had never thought of. You know, my
because keep it real. When you're on a cruise ship, the lifestyle is a party.
Yeah, it's a big party. So my best friend to this day, I mean, we're still best friends. My first roommate, Dennis Kirk.
You got another roomie. You got somebody else other than me. You got another roomie. You've been cheating on me, rude boy.
He was my first. Yeah, he was my first. But we just hit it off right away. He was a young fellow from the UK, and he was the ship's printer, ran the print shop. But it's just a big party. It's a hard, fast.
It is fast
lifestyle, a hard, fast lifestyle. It really is. I mean, people come on there for a cruise, and you know, whether it's a 1 week cruise or 2 week cruise, and they're giving it everything, and then they're burned out at the end of their cruise. But then a whole new 1,500 people come on.
People arrive. That's right.
They're all charged up. So and you have no break. As someone that's working there, you have no break at all.
Well, that's what I used to. That's what I used to not hate it, but it was like the moment I stepped out of my cabin, it was like, you are on, bruv. You know what I mean? So it was like I couldn't go anywhere. Especially the times that I liked the most was when I hadn't worked yet. Because then I'm just the black guy walking around. Do you get me? They're like, is he security? What the frig is he doing there? You know what I mean? And then when I get up on the stage and I start talk to them and start telling them about themselves and everything, they're like, oh my God, that's the comedian. That's the comedian. And then that's it. After that, that's it. But after that, it's like drinks. I mean, a lot of times the drinks are free anyway. But it's like from that point there, it's like the world just changes. And not only that, but people are different on cruise ships because you're in a bubble. It's a bubble.
Yeah, very much so. And you're right. The minute you walk out of your door, once they know that you work there, you know, you have no time to yourself. And it is a bubble. You're just what's happening in the outside world doesn't matter, and even more so then, because we weren't getting it. There was no television or newspapers that we didn't have access to any of that stuff. So it was just whatever was happening on the ship. That was our world, and it was a bubble. Yeah.
So then, what made you? Because I mean, what made you decide that it was time to end the cruise, the whole cruise thing? What made you? Because I know you was flinging your seed about, right? It's obvious that you was flinging your seed about, yeah. So. Because, like you said, you never got married. Do you know what I mean? You never got married.
Right.
You know? So what was it? The daughter that made you kind of slow down? That you now had a responsibility. What was it that made you slow down?
Well, she came years later, actually. But initially I went on the cruise to work and to travel just for a year. But after that first year, which was in the Mediterranean, it was just fabulous. I mean, everyone I worked with was fantastic. It was the best year, and the traveling, and every other day we're in a new port, and it's the partying, and you get a paycheck. Well, the cruise line offered me a contract for the Caribbean, which I took, and I ended up staying in the Caribbean for 2.5 years, and then a final cruise out of New York City for a year. But so now we're 5 years in, where that 1 year became 5.
Okay.
And I looked at myself and I thought, I could close the book on this. It's, I'm not going to make this a career, because I couldn't envision where I would be, like, 5-10 years from then. I would be on a cruise ship, and that would be my career. And I didn't want that. So I thought it's time to, close the book on this and start something different, start something different back at home. So my daughter hadn't come along yet, but that's when I came back. And so I had, gone there to take a year off school with every intention of going back. Then 5 years later, I thought, man, do I really want to pursue the same things I did? And that's where my father was at an age where, he was getting on in years and he wanted to slow down. And that's where I saw an opportunity, to take on that business and grow it the way I wanted to grow it. So I worked at that for a few years and went back to school while I was working for him so that I could become a landscape designer, so that I could become a certified horticulturist and really, really, I mean, I knew the business, but I really wanted to know the business. And then my daughter came shortly after that. Yeah. Okay.
So while you're growing the business now, you get me? And would you say that that's when you I mean, obviously we think that we're men, so to speak. But is it around that time when you kind of thought, right, I'm actually taking life by the scruff of the neck and I'm going to make it what I want it to be?
Yeah, no, exactly. And so one of the beauties was I thought, oh, I'll have my own business. I'll create my own work environment and all that sort of thing. And I'll be able to travel because I still had that travel bug. And I'll be able to do all that. But yeah, you're right. I really thought, okay, so is this the time where I've, I'm an adult now. I'm a man. I've got a business. So I have to have some degree of seriousness, but still wanted to have fun. I didn't want to grow up completely.
Nah, I think when the child dies in you, so does the man at the same time, I think, to myself. Do you know what I mean? But what I liked is the fact that your dad actually was able to pass on a legacy to you. He actually passed something across, and not only that, but he's actually coming from a totally different place. He's coming from the Netherlands. You know what I mean? And he's making life in a totally new place. I mean, I want to ask this question of you because there's quite a few people in here. Can you tell us about what Black Pete was to you as a child growing up?
Black people.
Black Pete.
Oh, Black Pete.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So Black Pete or Zwarte Piet. So in Holland, they don't have like the Santa Claus that we know, like that comes on Christmas Day. They have a St. Nicholas, and St. Nicholas Day is like December the 6th or 7th. And so St. Nicholas comes and he has this sidekick, Black Peter, and which you can't even use that term anymore. It's the city. But at the time it was Black Peter, and that was St. Nicholas's sidekick. It was his helper. And so what happens is on St. Nicholas Day is, you're talking about the land of clogs. Well, so in Holland, you know, people have those wooden shoes, right? Those wooden clogs that you're talking about.
Yeah. And do you lot yodel as well?
What's that?
Do you lot yodel? Or is that bullshit?
That's Switzerland, man. I think
Oh, sorry, bruv. You ain't got the mountains. You ain't got the mountains. Okay, go.
No mountains and no mountains.
Yeah.
So little geography. Yeah, no. So Holland is north of that. So, yeah. So you put out your clogs on St. Nicholas Day, and you know St. Nicholas comes around in the evening, much the way Santa Claus does, and he fills your clogs with gifts and candy and sweets and things like that. And if you haven't been a good, you know, if you haven't been a good boy or girl, if you've been naughty, then Black Peter, he fills your clogs with coal.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got coal instead. So that's what Black Peter was.
So was Black Peter a white guy then who was just covered in coal, or was he actually a black guy?
Well, no, he was meant to be an actual black guy. I know that, you know, for certain ceremonies or celebrations.
Them not want to hear the truth. They want to know.
There'd be some guy that would be blackened up, but I mean,
yeah,
Black Peter was.
We understand the history. We genuinely do. So don't feel.
Yeah. So Black Peter was supposed to be a black. So Saint Nicholas and Black Peter, they originally came from Spain. They came from.
Yeah.
Spain. So Black Peter was a black man. But of course, during like celebrations for St. Nicholas Day, it would often be a guy that was blackened up. Yeah.
Okay. Because like I said, as a child growing up, we only had the 7 dwarfs. Do you know what I mean? We just had these dwarfs who were meant to be Father Christmas's helpers, so to speak. And it's like as you get older, you start digging through history and you start to find out about things that are going on around the world and the different interpretations people have, you know, of how they're going to interpret Christmas. And so this was the way I take it that the Dutch did at the time, because, you know, not holding you responsible for the way that life was back in the day. You know, we're just saying that's how it is, and that's how I like to keep it real. And have that open, honest conversation about it, you know. So I just wanted to really just go there with you, and because you know you've been there, you've been in it. We actually hear it come out of your mouth. But the thing is that you set up the business now, right? And you're also traveling, but you didn't stop there, did you, matey? You didn't stop there, because your business is doing really well. Talk the truth. Come on, talk the truth.
Yeah, no, really well. I had no issues, no issue. I don't have to, no cold calling, no sending out flyers, no knocking on doors. Business is doing really well. The work just comes. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're in quite an affluent area, and like I said, grass needs cutting, lawns need mowing, bushes need tendering. Do you get me? And obviously, you turn it into a beautiful thing. Yeah. When you're finished with it. But then how is it that that this came about? Where did this come from?
So I'm the coach and president of this springboard and platform dive club. Now I was always involved in sports, right? And I loved sports, involved in it myself, even as an adult. I mean, I continued, like you showed that picture earlier where I was playing football, and I played football, you know, for, like I said, for like 30 years. I was an adult. But I also, as I grew older, I knew that I couldn't keep competing. But my daughter got involved in sports, of course, and she got involved with the dive club. I had become a track and field coach, but when my daughter came along, you know, with her activities, then I didn't have the time to coach. So my daughter became involved in this dive club, and as she started to progress and get better, the dive club here locally was a very small club, and she needed better coaching, more advanced coaching, more pool time, more practice time, and things like that. So I debated whether I should take her to another club, or I could look at the club that existed and it needed help, And, you know, you can complain about stuff or you can do something about it. And I just thought, I'm in a position to do something about it. Here's my opportunity to get involved in competitive sports. Here's my opportunity to, you know, give back to the community, do something for the community, which is something that I want to do. I mean, it's something when I think, you know, when I leave this world, you know, what do I want to leave behind? And so I want to, you know, I want to create, I want to make a difference. I want to inspire people and I want to make a difference. So here was, it just, you know, it fell into my lap, and here was an opportunity for me to do that. And so that's what I did. I just grabbed on with, grabbed the bull with both horns, as it were, and decided to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Don't let Donna feel ignored. Don't let her feel ignored.
Oh, Donna, yeah. So Donna's asking which part of Canada. I'm just outside Toronto, just west of Toronto, in Ontario.
Okay. And here we've got a bookworm with us. This is Paul. This is the guy I went to school with.
Okay, yeah.
He's saying that Black Pete, the character, first appeared in an 1850s book by Amsterdam school teacher Jan Schokkerman. Traditionally, Zwarte-Piet is black because he is a Moor from Spain.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, because it was the Moors who brought over, they brought chemistry, they brought mathematics, they brought architecture, they brought a load of stuff, man. However, since the late 20th century, the common explanation of Zwarte-Piet's blackness has been that it is due to the soot on his body acquired during his many trips down the chimney of the homeless he visited. Because I've often said that we have, what's them guys that we have who go around with the sticks, beating the sticks, right? And they got chains on their bloody legs. Oh God, merry men, what are they called? Come on, man, someone of you lot must know who I'm talking about. They would go around with the sticks and they go around the Maybury pole, and what have you. Oh man, no. Come on, guys, help me out on this one. Not you, Paul. Them not in there. Morris dancers, right? Here we go. Morris dancers. The word Morris is Spanish. Once again, yeah. Morris. There's so many different ways. We also know that Morris was also he was also a saint. Yeah, but we also know that a lot of these Morris dancers were actually poor white guys who wanted change. But the thing is that the bells that they had on their legs was from the slaves that they used to see with the chains on their legs, and they equated themselves with that as well. It's quite an interesting topic when you really get into it. But yes, those Morris dancers, they do pop up. But the thing is that the children that you teach when it comes to swimming, I mean, when it comes to the diving, some of them are at quite an elite level, aren't they?
Yeah. So there's all levels. So there's introductory divers, there's divers at the provincial level, and divers at the national level. So we've had, in the last 8 years, we've had like 5 junior Canadian champions. Yeah. So they can progress, and some of them are, they're amongst the top divers in Canada, junior divers.
And
so
under 18. And that all stems from you seeing a gap where it started off with your daughter, and then it moved into you're going to push your nose in a little bit further and help this club develop and grow. And you've done that like you're growing grass once again. You know what I mean? Constantly pushing, aren't you? You're constantly push. But you didn't stop there though, did you? It's just not enough. It's just not enough for you, is it? It's just not enough. Because you want to tell us a little bit about this?
Okay, so this is at the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa, which is the highest peak in Africa, and it's one of the 7 summits, of course. So I'm holding a picture there of the summit. There's a picture of a very good friend of mine who had died just the year before, Larry Hodgson, who had died of cancer. And the last year, I spent a lot of time with him. And, he suffered so much with his cancer, and, he never complained. And we did a lot of things on his bucket list that last year, and just spending that time with him and listening about, his philosophy of life and how he looked at life. I just thought, there's so much more I can do. There's so much more that I can contribute. And I know that listening, you were talking about, people before, and one of the people I listened to a lot was Les Brown. And
Les Brown is another personal
development
guy, because he's meant to be one of my chapters of the book that I'm actually writing is going to be connected to his book. I'm supposed to take out one of my chapters and put it in alongside him, and also the guy who wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus.
Oh yeah, John Gray. Yeah,
John Gray. That's what that is what Ray promised me. Yeah. He said that that's where one of my chapters will go. I've been sending a chapter backwards and forwards, because what they actually want, I want to write the history, and they want me to write a sales book. It must the thing is that they want it to always lead to sales, or from what Ray's explaining to me, he doesn't see the point of it if it's not about me doing comedy courses, or it's not about, and it's not really the direction that I would really want to take the book.
Right.
Because I kind of feel to myself that the British Black history has never been told, kind of like thing. I mean, I can talk about the musical halls and all that kind of thing, and the way in which English humor kind of like developed. But in terms of how Black British humor developed, there's no actual story. There's no actual, and that's what I really want to write. And that believe it or not, that's the struggle that I'm having with Raymond when it sort of like comes to that. But you went ahead and you actually went ahead and you wait, before I even want to show them your book, right? I want to show them this. Yeah, because property maintenance and award. You got an award?
Yeah, several awards. Yeah, several awards. So this is before I even decided to write a book. You want to sort of leverage yourself, and you want to sort of differentiate yourself from everybody else. So I wanted to be very good at what I did, and just wanted to be another guy. So
you're an alpha male, mate. That's what you're saying. You're an alpha male.
Award winner. So if you're an award-winning company or an award-winning firm, it just sort of differentiate yourself a little bit. Yeah. But if I just flip back to where we started, where that climbing Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, I do apologize. Yeah.
No, that's okay. But doing that was, because my friend, in the last year of his life, he devoted all this time to an organization in the city next to where I live, Hamilton, which is a real blue collar city where there was big steel factories and things like that. And in that city, which I didn't know about, was 1 in 4 kids in the inner city are in poverty. And this is something, I live next door to them. I didn't even know that.
That's like Washington, DC.
So with my friend, my friend who's who had in his last year of his life, he's devoting all his time to this organization. So when he passed away, I wanted to do something in his memory, and I wanted to bring awareness to that organization. And rather than just do some kind of fundraiser, I had to do something that was going to grab some headlines. So climbing Kilimanjaro, I was successful in doing that because it got into the papers. It got into the local CBC here, which is kind of like the BBC. So it really gathered some momentum, and I did what I set out to do, was get awareness and raise money for that organization. But I did it in the memory of my friend. Yeah.
So what's happening here?
So this is in Tanzania, immediately after my summit of Kilimanjaro. So what I had done was before my trip, I had collected a lot of those Canadian flags and Canadian lapel pins and postcards of Canada. And I just went and visited this school, and I gave a small talk to the school in Moshi, Tanzania. And I just presented this class with all these pictures and postcards of Canada. They all got like little lapel pins and these Canadian flags, and they were just they were just over the moon about it. The whole school like erupted when I came in. It was really, really cool moment.
I can imagine, man. I can imagine. And so is this when you're around Kilimanjaro? Where's this?
No, this is a few years earlier. This is still with a travel bug. This is in Egypt. This is in southern Egypt, and I had sailed down the Nile River or up the Nile River on a felucca. This is the ancient Egyptian sailboat with these native Nubians, and the Nubians, they predate the Egyptian civilization, which is known as the first civilization or the earliest civilization. Right?
They're gonna love you for saying that in there. They're gonna love you for saying that. I'm telling you, because so many people assume that Egypt is the thing. And I keep explaining to the people that Egypt is but the baby of Africa. It's almost like it's not the final product. It's where Egypt was going, based on the Nubians, based on South Africa and the knowledge coming up towards the northern end of Africa. So you managed to, what do you call that boat? A felucca?
A felucca, yeah.
And that's one of the original kind of like things that they were floating around in.
That's it, yeah. Back in the time, yeah.
That's all right. Business is doing good for you, bruv.
Yeah. The Nubians weren't actually a civilization, but they were a people that predated the Egyptian civilization, and they did trade with the Egyptians and things like that, but they predated. So it was really interesting to really immerse myself with those people while still touring that part of Egypt, right on the Nile River, right? So
yeah. Cool. I mean, I went out to Egypt myself. I didn't go to the Valley of the Kings though. I went where everybody normally goes. You know what I mean? And saw the pyramids and what have you. But it would have been nice of sort of like just, I guess, have the time to stroll, because it's such a vast area. It was bigger than I even thought. I even began to think how massive Egypt is alone. But it's funny that they don't see it as part of Africa. They don't actually see Egypt as part of Africa. They see it more as part of the Middle East, which is a bit weird, especially when you're looking at the map itself. Yeah.
No. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So then, when you when you did all of this, and then you sort of like came back, and I guess you're getting into all the personal development. You're meeting Les, you're meeting Proctor, and all of these guys. Because not many people, believe it or not, Paul, would strive to do what you've done. A lot of people would be content with that, with the house and the 2 kids. Whereas it seems like you're always out there looking for a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where you busted, where your knees are gone now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I just had knee replacement surgery and just recovering from that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually gonna try and look for the image of where I was shocked when I went on your page and all I could see was this foot. And you're like, yeah, just recovering from surgery, and I thought, what is this guy talking about? He's just recovering from surgery, and I thought that was madness. But yeah, so let's actually talk about the book now, because the book you've got all these awards here, right?
Yeah.
And then you meet up with Ray.
Yeah.
You then go on to produce this book. Yeah, and tell us about the doors that the book started to open up.
Well, the book again was one of those things that you wanted to, as Raymond says, you want to get out of that sea of sameness. You want to differentiate yourself from others. So I had won several awards. I thought I could write a book, but the book was really is meant to be a stepping stone to something else greater that I want to do. Again, it does differentiate yourself from other people in your field. It sort of brands you as an expert, right? I mean, you can say you've got a degree, you can say you got a certification in this or that, but when you've got a book, when you're the author of a book, then you're perceived by everyone else as you must be the expert, right? So it's done that, but what it's done is, so I've had several interviews now with some of the big news media outlets here in America. And one of the ideas behind my book is also I wanted to take it from there, and I wanted to produce a television garden show. So
wicked.
That's one of the things. It's one of the keys for me.
Okay, so that's you all over, Paul. It's just one challenge after another, isn't it? Never satisfied, mate.
No, I think, well, and one of the things that my mentor Bob Proctor says is, you should be grateful for what you have, but there should be this healthy dissatisfaction. Be thankful, be grateful for what you have, but you should have this dissatisfaction because you always want to be more, do more, and have more. There's nothing wrong with that, right? That's just your spirit or your soul wanting to grow, that's why you want to be more. But people, put these self-imposed limitations on themselves. They get their job, like you said, they have their 2 kids, their house, and be satisfied. And that's good. That's all very well, but you're not becoming all that you can be. And I know I hearken back to something that Les Brown said. He said, like, how can you spend 50, 60 years on this earth and not make any kind of contribution? So you can have a nice job, and you can have your nice little 2 weeks holidays every year, and blah blah blah, and you're okay. You're happy, but you're not really expressing the person that you can truly be.
But isn't that stepping out of, like you said, in a sense, it's stepping out of the expectations that are placed on you when you leave school.
Yeah,
that you are there to be part of the cog, part of the industry, not be the industry, kind of like thing. And because I was always sold this picket fence, small little house, happily ever after. You got your car, and that's the way it should be. I mean, a lot of some of my elders who are affluent in the sense that they're middle class and what have you, but you could see that it's like they're stunted, and it's like they're not really free. Whereas you seem to have floated around very freely, expressing yourself, whether it be through sport, whether it be through travel. It's always developmental growth. And I mean, on talking to you, I blame your dad. I blame your dad for stepping out in the first place, and that's what you constantly do. You constantly step out.
Yeah.
I mean, what made you do that?
Well, there's a bit of a, my daughter and I are a bit of adrenaline junkies to a degree, but it's not just about doing something for the thrill, which is really cool.
Right.
I'm still very much I live for the experiences rather than live for a bigger, newer car or something materialistic that's newer, a little bit better or bigger. I mean, I like to have nice things, but I like the experiences because the biggest thing about when you go out and experience life is the people, the relationships that you develop and build, right? And
right.
So it's the experience and the people that you meet. I mean, it's just something that you can never take away.
Because I've always felt that life is about experiences. It's not about the things that you actually possess. Because as I said earlier, I want to know that when I do die, do you know what I mean, or when I do go away, I got stories to tell.
Yeah.
I don't want to know that I'm just saying we are stuck in the M25. You know what I mean? I stayed within the M25, and that's all I know. Do you know what I mean? I can't really hold the conversation. I mean, a friend of mine has passed away. She only passed away a couple of days ago, and I did say that I'm sure that when I meet up with her again, we're going to have stories to tell one another about what we was doing when we were down there. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure that she's waiting up there, looking down at me, going, "Yeah, well, now wait for you now. Well, wait for you." Now, I think you've got a massive ego. I really do think you've got a massive ego. As much as you, because I see you as a statesman. Because I want you to tell this story though. This is the story that I want you to tell. Because this is what made me gravitate towards Paul. Okay. Well, let me find it. Here we are. We're in class now. We're in class. Yeah. And what have you got in your hand?
So what I have in my hand is a hat, right? And so that's, you know, to my left or to the right, that's, you know, Raymond Aaron, who's running this transformational retreat. And so every day, of course, you know, we were in class and, you know, learning about the spiritual world and those kind of things that Raymond was teaching. And he had this long-standing tradition through all his transformational retreats about, you know, the next day, someone would be awarded the hat for doing something above and beyond, or doing something extraordinary, for helping someone or doing something, and they would be recognized. And so I like the, you know, I liked the idea. I understood that idea, and so I had been awarded the hat, of course, the day before, from yourself, actually.
Yeah, I gave you the hat.
Yeah, and so when I was thinking about, okay, who can I present?
Because hold on, let me just stop you for a minute. Because I got awarded the hat. That's why I could pass it on.
You're awarded the hat, yes. And then it's whoever has the hat, you know, the following day, it's up to them to present it or award it to somebody else. And so you had been awarded the hat, and then you had awarded it to me. And then, you know, looking around, and of course, we had been there for almost a week.
A week, yeah.
I think then. And, you know, outside the class, you know, there's, you know, I mean, people were there for different reasons. And, you know, there's obviously people that speak up more. There's also people that are a little bit more reserved. But when you were outside the class, you could see the way people interacted. You could see people doing things that was outside of their comfort zone, albeit quietly. And you know, if it's in relation to where they're at, not relation to what someone else is doing. And so I decided that, you know, to break the rule, I mean, because Raymond said you could have any, you could make the rules when you had the hat.
Yeah.
So I decided to make my own rule, and I wanted to award the hat to everybody in the class. Everybody had done something. People were coming out of their shell. People were doing something that was outside their comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know, for, you know, you could look at it and say, well, that's nothing. But for them, it was something.
It was massive, bruv. It was massive. It was massive. Because he made everybody wear the hat for a minute, innit?
Yeah.
The room went nuts. The room went, because everybody felt like they were achievers now. Everybody felt like they were achievers. And that just makes me understand this. That just makes me understand that, Paul. It really does, because you encourage people, you push people, you want them to get the best, you want them to get the best out of themselves. You know, and Ray didn't know what the hell to do. He was totally lost, because normally he's in control, and you took that control away from him. For that moment there, he had no control, and everybody was wearing his hat, and he was like, "This has never happened before. Not everybody gets to wear the hat. Not everybody gets to wear the hat." And he was like, "No, you said we can make up the rules." And everybody started to wear this hat, and I'll tell you, right after that moment. Right, because Paul was my roomie at the time. Them lot would not leave us alone. They wanted to go. If we were going to have a drink, they wanted to have a drink. If we were going to go clubbing, they wanted to go clubbing. It was like we got elevated to the top of the class, which was kind of weird. But like I said, I wanted to end on saying I think you got a massive ego, right? And it's not your fault. It's just the way that you are. You are an alpha male, without a shadow of a doubt. And I'm gonna say, you did not chop all of that things them down. You did not. You did not. There is no way you can convince me, right, that you chopped or you got an axe in your hand, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, as if to say, yeah. Look what I did. Look what I built. Look what I've.
All in a day's work.
Yeah. I was thinking, no. But I love the way you challenge yourself, bro. I love the way you take chances. I love the way that you risk it. You put it all on the edge. You put it all on the edge, and I think the fruit really and truly is reflected. Where, if I can find it, did I bring it up? Oh, what did I do with it? Don't tell me I deleted it. Oh, hold on. Let me take my time. I think it's reflected here in your daughter.
Yeah.
Because she's a high achiever as well.
She is, yeah, very much, yeah.
You know, she's not even into medicine. She's gone beyond medicine. She's gone into chiropractor.
It's chiropractic with a specialty in functional medicine. So, you know, getting away from the prescribing you something to take care of the symptoms, but really determining what it is that, you know, why your body can't heal itself, because your body does have a tremendous ability to do that. But it's interesting what you said, because it made me think of something that Les Brown, going back to what Les Brown said, you know, he says, don't judge a tree by, judge a tree by the fruit that it bears, not the fruit that it talks about. So, you know, you can talk about stuff, but, you know, it's the fruit that you bear that you show, you know, that's your growth.
Well, I see the growth in your daughter, bro, because I'd love to know that my offspring, you know, that they surpass me in such a way that I can look up to them and say, well, yeah, that is a definite improvement, you know. And when you can see that, that's all you can see. That's all you need to know. You know, it's about coming down, having experiences, and leaving the world a better place than where you found it. You know?
Yeah.
You know. And on that note, my friend, I've got to say we have done our time.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's just a pleasure to talk to you. I mean, so privileged to be here on your show, and so good.
Man. It was great having you. I was, like I said, for me, it was about the timing. It was about the timing of when I would be able to, because I think at one point I tried to get hold of you before, couldn't get hold of you. But now that I have, you know, it gives people the opportunity to see another side. Right, because I'm very pro-black in that respect, but people don't understand that it's because just culturally who I am. It's just this is the skin I was born in. It doesn't mean that I don't get on with people, right? And I see people for who they are. Do you know what I mean? And you're somebody that I do respect. It's just based on your achievements, bro. It's just based on you just being Paul Wouters, you know. And I think that's the great way to be. I mean, we left this guy. He's very much in love now. They're showing pictures all over the place. I'm surprised that none of the guys actually jumped into the room. They might be hiding, and they might have popped in and popped out again. I don't know, or they're just hiding in the back there. But I was hoping that a couple of them would have jumped in and asked you a few questions and said a few things. But never mind, it's not important. I think what is important is that we're still connected.
Yeah.
You know, as much as you're over there in the cold in Canada, you know, and I'm out here in the belly of the beast, as we like to call it. So all I can say to you, my friend, is thank you very much for coming. I've got people here who are saying many thanks for sharing your journey, Paul.
Oh, you're very welcome. No, I've loved it. Pleasure to be here. Thanks, Julie, for your comment. And yeah, Rudy, I mean, again, you know, it was a great experience going to Cancun, but again, it's the people, and, you know, meeting you is such a reward, right?
I don't know about that.
Well, I had to say something nice at the end of the show, I thought. So.
No. We want to see the underbelly. We want to see the other side. We want to see the guy who was playing around with Black Pete. That's what we want to see. Paul was saying very inspiring. These guys are starting to talk now. I have a family in Cambridge, Ontario.
Very nearby. That's very nearby.
That's just round the corner. Carol is saying, insightful show. Thank you. Yeah, they're starting to open up to you now. They're starting to talk. You're not too late. Shut up now. Thank you. Interesting journey.
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook. If there was a question there, you can find me on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm sure one or two of them will go and dig you out. But the only difference is that they won't get the interview. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say thank you very much for joining myself and Paul. Next week, Monday, we will be talking to Charles Tomlins. Very funny guy. Very, 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 very funny guy. From Jamaica, came over to the UK, made a big name of himself. So I thought we'd interview him and see his story. Please do check out my promos. Don't forget, people, like, share, and subscribe. It's so important. It's the only way that I can grow, and that is with your help. Okay, so please do that for me. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys on Anything Goes. You know what? I should actually invite you to come on the panel one day. Yeah, this is where them lot get to ask questions of like men and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Men, women relationships. They put us in weird scenarios. You know what I mean? I should get hold of you one day, Paul. But anyway, we got to get out of here, and I'll see you guys. Paul, we're gonna go in the green room for a while. Just give it about 8 or 7 minutes, and we'll be able to chat and say goodbye. Okay?
Okay, man.
All
Cheers.
right.
Thank you.
Right, let's get this. Oh, what have I done?
Yes, I mean, look like COVID, but you know, easy. I might that girl living in Kenya. She, if me look like COVID, that means that she look like Corona. So it's all we can link up Corona and COVID.
Deliverable. Yes. Do you know those places? Yes. Can you?
That brings us to Wednesday, the 24th of February. Imagine that, we're nearly at the end of February already. Anything Goes with Peter Terry, DJ Countryman, Shoe Doctor himself. Our guests are going to be Natasha Virgil from Black Wall Street of London, and also James Capone himself, right, from Zoom Banqueting Suite.
God, mate. You know what I mean?
I'm surprised you don't choke, blood.
Nah. I nearly choked this now. Peter made me laugh and the lemon nearly come out my nose.
It's time to spice up your food with one-shot marinade, the authentic Caribbean seasoning.
Yeah, about keep fit. So don't forget, you said you didn't want an ugly person on it. So just out him, say no, yeah? And that's what he's going to say to you.
But I lyric.
Well,
that's not a food.
I would say.
on your own.
Yes, yes.
You can all certainly be in the film in one.
There you go.
I must say, first of all, those who are on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to YouTube, our Anything Goes YouTube podcast. And then when we go live, you get the notification. Young people.
Me now swing with nobody enough. But I tell you something though, my wife got some wicked sisters, you know, so anything can happen, anything, you know, anything goes, as they say. But that takes us into Friday. Friday is my weekly rant. I'm joined by Aston Metaphor Jones and also Coach Astrid. Mind you though, it is 8:15 till 9:15 in the morning.
What you put me on this time of morning, you're going to scare everyone.
It was a cassette. You know when you had to push the pencil in between into the hole? Yes, man. And spin it.
But straight away, that, you know, red flag, you know, same community, why are we the guinea pigs now?
I feel like when you are speaking up for yourself, it should be unapologetic and it should be honest. I think that we all.
So, for example, the West Indian community, there are many reasons why they may not, and you can probably tell me more than I know. But I think part of it is that they're being asked to trust the same structures that have also contributed to their discrimination, their abuse, their trauma.
But in Ubuntu, we have programs that kind of look at identity, raising self-esteem, looking at our history, looking at.
Often when you watch the news and stuff, everyone's talking about race. And I'm just thinking, well, there's more than that. I know, just having no dad and having to work out what it means to be a black man in the UK was a very, very difficult job.
So when we boycott these places, where are we going to go? What are we going to do? We're starting to put things in place now. Are we not falling into their trap? Or is this just the universe pushing us to shop with our own and make the money stay within our community?
You know, and if you ain't got enough to do it in your family, get 2 or 3 families together and start a business. You know, we've got to be thinking like that now, because unemployment is going to be rife.
Saturday sees DJ Countryman and myself with 15 minutes with DJ Countryman and myself. This is where we interview somebody for 15 minutes. We will be interviewing Lady Lloyd. She's come out with a book called Lovers Rock after that mess up that Steve McQueen made.
Silly games. I've been watching you for such a long time now. It's a shame. Financially, I'm a
That's what you call a royal.
"15 Minutes with DJ Countryman and Rudi Lickwood Saturday morning mayhem with 2 entertainment heavyweights."
Morning, darling.
Hey, everyone. Hey, Push.
So, I can start.
My internet's awful.
Join them with interviews.
What about them telephone? Come on, put out for the telephone.
Comedy and quizzes.
All them.
Okay.
Somebody was born in Harlem.
There's no border there, that's what I'm saying.
Peter, hear me out, Peter. It said, can you write down the number 8 times? That means, no, it's not times, that multiplication. It's to write it down 8 times, Peter.
We're not you didn't know the answer, you better get it now. If you didn't have the answer, would you get it?
You're the one who's here. You're the. Oh God, we got another one. We got another one. They're so bitter this morning. They are so.
No, can I ask you? Who actually wrote that question?
They are so. Oh my God! Again. What is wrong with these people, man?
Hello. Hi. Hello. You said hi twice. Goodbye. You said hi 3 times.
You're gone.
Sound the
He's gone, man.
15 minutes with Rudi Lickwood and DJ Countryman. Saturday mornings, gonna be the same again.
Incredible.
We will be joined by comedian Desmond Feely, Effie from the Rants and Bants crew, and also Trevor White and Shulk Speed. At least I forget to tell you about the 24-hour live event that's going to be taking place on the 6th of March, which is the second Saturday of the month, and I will be doing a collaboration alongside Natasha Vigil and Lorraine and Hugh Benler. They are the owners of the Black Business Recommendation. It's a fantastic organisation that gets black businesses working and collaborating with one another. Natasha, she runs the Black Wall Street of London. It's a virtual marketplace, and we've decided to basically come together. So that's like from 12 a.m. till 12 a.m. And just working together. Do not forget to subscribe, especially if you're on YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe. Subscribe, hit the button, subscribe, hit the button. If you're on Facebook, make sure that you like the page. By you liking the page, you will receive your notifications, whether you're in YouTube or whether you are, of course, in Facebook. So that's the weekly roundup.